Now look, she made the statement about Hillary Clinton. I've heard the statement for years. I had no idea it was Michelle Obama. She made the statement that if you can't take care of your own house, you can't take care of the White House. You know, I've heard that statement.
Now, look, she made a statement about Hillary Clinton. That line has been floating around for years. He says he had no idea it came from Michelle Obama. The quote itself sounds simple. If you cannot take care of your own house, you cannot take care of the White House. Trump introduces it as something familiar, almost disconnected from its source. But the moment he links it directly to Michelle Obama, it stops being abstract. It becomes personal. That shift is crucial in political communication. What matters is not just the words, but how audiences read intent. Is it a neutral reference or a subtle challenge to credibility without saying it outright? That ambiguity is where the controversy begins to expand beyond a single...
I've seen Michelle passionate in this election.
Yes.
Part of the reason that we get involved as much as we have is not just because we think Hillary's going to be a great president, but it's also because there is something qualitatively different about the way...
Part of the reason you have seen Michelle so passionate in this election is not only because people believe Hillary will be a strong president. It is also because something feels qualitatively different about this moment. Barack Obama enters the discussion by stepping back rather than striking back. He talks about motivation, engagement, and why certain figures feel compelled to speak more forcefully. The key phrase is qualitatively different. He does not fully spell it out, but it signals contrast. This is not just routine political disagreement. It suggests a deeper difference in tone and approach, drawing attention to a clash of political communication styles rather than a single...
Michelle Obama's speech last night where she said that you're in over your head and the wrong president for the
No,
country.
she was over her head, and frankly, she should have made the speech live, which she didn't do. She taped it, and it was not only taped, it was taped a long time ago because she had the wrong deaths. She didn't even mention the vice presidential candidate.
Asked to respond to Michelle Obama's speech, Trump shifts into direct confrontation. Instead of focusing solely on what she said, he questions how it was delivered. He points out that the speech was taped, claims it was recorded long before it aired, and argues it contained incorrect facts. He even highlights what he says was missing. This is a familiar political tactic. When the substance of a message is strong, the counter often targets credibility, format, or timing instead. The debate moves away from ideas and toward presentation. That reframing forces audiences to judge not just the message, but whether the platform itself was...
No one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the...
No one is prouder to put the birth certificate issue to rest than the Donald, Barack Obama jokes, before pivoting to absurd examples like faking the moon landing. This is not casual humor. It is structured satire. He takes a controversial narrative and exaggerates it to expose what he sees as distraction in public discourse. The power lies in tone. He sounds calm, even relaxed. That composure sharpens the sarcasm. By wrapping critique in humor instead of anger, he invites reflection rather than defensiveness, encouraging the audience to question why certain topics gain traction in the first place.
Blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognize that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me... What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac?
References to Roswell, Biggie, and Tupac push the satire even further. The point becomes unmistakable. Political conversations often drift from policy into speculation and viral distractions. These moments are not just jokes aimed at individuals. They highlight how modern media rewards what is sensational rather than what is substantive. Attention flows toward mystery, conspiracy, and entertainment, shaping public debate in ways that have little to do with facts or governance.
You gotta win. You know, I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, the one thing about sports is you break it down into, a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out is somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers.
It's winning. You got to win. I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, the one thing about sports is you break it down into, a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out is somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers.
The final shift comes from a broader perspective. A commentator reframes the focus away from Trump alone. The argument is that Trump dominates attention not because his ideas are entirely unique, but because he expresses them in more provocative and engaging ways. This widens the lens. Visibility in politics is often driven by delivery, not originality. How something is said can matter as much as what is said. That insight helps explain why certain figures command headlines, while similar ideas